What if everything you thought about losing fat was wrong? Counting calories, endless workouts, cutting carbs, and yet that stubborn body fat refuses to disappear. What if the secret isn't in what you eat, but when you eat? Could skipping a meal or limiting your eating window be the key to burning fat that won't go away through normal dieting? People claim that intermittent fasting can melt away stubborn fat, but can it really be that simple? In today's video, we'll explore whether this trend could finally be the answer to burning off that stubborn body fat, or just another fad. Let's uncover the truth. First, let's understand. What is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting is a scheduled eating approach alternating between consumption and abstinence. It doesn't dictate or restrict specific foods, but focuses on when you should eat them. The most widely practiced intermittent fasting methods include the 16-8 method, which is 16 hours of fasting and an 8-hour eating window, and the 5-2 method, which is 5 days of regular eating and 2 non-consecutive days of very low-calorie intake. How much weight can you lose from fasting? The most recent research on intermittent fasting shows people typically lose 3 to 8% of their body weight. The total amount varies, however, based on how long the person maintains their fasting schedule, whether or not they break the cycle by indulging in food during fasting hours, and their overall physical condition. Here are a few key points to remember when setting weight loss goals. Factors influencing weight loss during fasting. 1. Metabolism. Some people are born with fast metabolisms while others aren't. For those who fall into the latter category, it can be disheartening that weight loss is more challenging than it might be for their peers or even family members. While intermittent fasting does help turn fat reserves into energy regardless of your metabolism, it may take a little longer to see results if yours is naturally low. 2. Meal composition. If you fast for 12 hours but then eat a heavy meal loaded with trans fats, high fructose corn syrup, and other unhealthy ingredients, your fasting efforts will essentially have been in vain. Try to eat meals that are primarily vegetables and protein. You can also include whole grains and healthy fats like olive oil, but they shouldn't occupy the most significant portion of your plate. 3. Stress levels. Yes, whether or not you feel stressed can impact your ability to lose weight. Stress increases our cravings for unhealthy foods, insulin levels, and the body's visceral fat storage. So why intermittent fasting can be such a powerful tool for weight loss? Not because of any fancy fat loss effect, but merely because it makes dieting easier. However, various factors need to be considered to see the best results from fasting. How to choose your intermittent fasting plan. There are several different intermittent fasting methods. Here are some popular options. 1. The 16-8 method. At number 1, we have the 16-8 intermittent fasting plan. This is a flexible, time-restricted eating strategy that restricts food consumption and calorie-containing beverages to a specific 8-hour window per day. It requires abstaining from food for the remaining 16 hours. The 16-8 method is flexible and based on a time-restricted eating TRE model. You can choose any 8-hour window to consume calories. Some people skip breakfast and eat from noon to 8 p.m., while others avoid eating late and stick to a 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. schedule. Research suggests that time-restricted eating patterns can prevent hypertension, reduce food consumption, and lead to weight loss. A 2023 review of research found that 16-8 methods and 16-8, combined with restricting calories, were effective strategies for weight control in overweight or obese adults. An eating window starting before noon led to greater weight loss than one that began in the afternoon, and may have positive effects on glucose metabolism. A 2019 study found that the 16-8 method did not impair muscle or strength gains in women performing resistance training. 2. The 5-2 method. Next, the 5-2 diet is an intermittent fasting plan that involves eating normally for 5 days and reducing calorie intake to 1/4 of daily needs on the other 2 days. This can be equivalent to reducing daily calorie intake to 500 calories per day, 2 days per week. A 2018 study found that the 5-2 diet is as effective as daily calorie restrictions for weight loss and blood glucose control in individuals with type 2 diabetes. Another study found that the 5-2 diet is just as effective as continuous calorie restriction for weight loss and preventing metabolic diseases like heart disease and diabetes. 3. Eat, Stop, Eat. Eat, Stop, Eat is on the third spot. It is an intermittent fasting plan popularized by Brad Pilon the author of the book Eat, Stop, Eat. This involves abstaining from eating for 24 hours on 1 or 2 non-consecutive days per week. The remaining days allow for free eating, but a well-rounded diet is recommended to avoid overconsumption. A weekly 24-hour fast reduces calorie intake and promotes weight loss. However, more research is needed to determine the Eat, Stop, Eat diet's potential health benefits and weight loss properties. 4. Alternate day fasting. Then comes alternate day fasting, an intermittent fasting plan in which you fast every other day, but can continue your usual eating plan on non-fasting days. Some versions include a modified fasting strategy, consuming around 500 calories on fasting days, while others eliminate calories on fasting days. Alternate day fasting has been proven effective for weight loss. A 2016 pilot study compared it to daily caloric restriction in obese adults. Another study found that participants consumed 37% fewer calories and lost an average of 7.7 pounds after alternating between fasting and unlimited eating over 4 weeks. It can also support cardiovascular health. 5. The Warrior Diet. Lastly, we have the Warrior Diet, an intermittent fasting plan based on ancient warrior eating patterns created in 2001 by Ori Hofmeckler. It involves eating minimally for 20 hours during the day and eating as much as desired for a 4-hour window at night. Dieters are encouraged to consume small amounts of dairy products, hard-boiled eggs, raw fruits and vegetables, and non-calorie fluids during the fast. After the fast, unprocessed, healthy, and organic foods are recommended for the 4-hour window. These types of time-restricted feeding cycles have been shown to have health benefits, such as preventing diabetes, slowing tumor progression, delaying aging, and increasing lifespan. However, a 2020 study found that fasting with a 4-hour feeding window did not yield the same benefits as fasting with a 6-hour window. Further research is needed to understand its weight loss benefits. Now let's have a look at intermittent fasting strategies for different belly types. Those wondering, does fasting burn belly fat? Or how much weight can you lose in a week by fasting? Are often surprised to learn there are different belly types, and each responds differently. That's why knowing your body and gathering as much information as possible before implementing a fasting routine is essential. There are 2 belly types. 1. Subcutaneous belly fat. If you have soft, squishy tissue just below the surface of your abdomen, it's most likely subcutaneous fat. This type of fat accumulates around the waistline but can also be found in our arms, thighs, and under the chin. That type of fat is thought to have the most minor concern regarding adverse health effects. In fact, it's completely normal and healthy to have some subcutaneous fat. Only when excessive amounts are present does it begin to put you at an increased risk for diabetes, heart disease, and other metabolic conditions. 2. Visceral belly fat. Visceral belly fat is more difficult to identify since it's stored deep within the abdominal cavity, between your organs and other tissues. One indicator of visceral belly fat is a larger than average waist circumference, even if you have a flat stomach. With this type of belly, the risk for adverse health effects is much greater, since visceral fat can release fatty acids, cholesterol, and other harmful substances into your system. Choosing strategies for intermittent fasting by belly type is advised to ensure the best possible results. Here's the recommended schedule for each type. Best intermittent fasting method for subcutaneous belly fat. 16-8 method. Fast for 16 hours and have an 8-hour eating window daily. For example, you might fast from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. the next day and eat between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. 5-2 method. With the 5-2 method, you consume your regular diet 5 days a week and consume around 500 to 600 calories for 2 remaining fasting days. This calorie restriction can contribute to a caloric deficit and aid in fat loss. Best intermittent fasting method for visceral belly fat. 14-10 method. Fast for 14 hours and have a 10-hour eating window daily. That means you restrict your food intake to a specific 10-hour period while abstaining from caloric consumption for the remaining 14 hours. Alternate day method. Alternate between fasting days, 500 to 600 calories, and regular eating days. Beware, before you try intermittent fasting. If you want to give intermittent fasting a try, make sure to discuss it with your doctor first. Skipping meals and severely limiting calories can be dangerous for people with certain conditions, such as diabetes. Some people who take medications for blood pressure or heart disease also may be more prone to imbalances of sodium, potassium, and other minerals during longer than normal periods of fasting. Whether you start with a modified fasting plan or a full fast, it's best to maintain a nutritious diet, incorporating high-protein foods and a variety of fiber-packed vegetables to help you feel full. Additionally, eating too many high-calorie snacks or processed food products can negate the positive effects associated with intermittent fasting. It's also best to talk with a doctor before beginning a fasting plan, especially if you have an underlying health condition. They can help determine if the plan is safe and effective for your health needs. If you enjoy the video, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Thanks for watching.